Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. My mic was muted. My bad. Never fails, man. Always once a day, right? Once a day.
From the top. All right, welcome back. We got another episode of Crossing Streams. I got Mr. Buffalo K here with me. And today we are going to talk about my non-favorite subject, and that's audio. I hate audio. If audio had a throat, I would punch it. I don't have enough fingers and toes to count the amount of issues I've had on stream with audio. So we're going to kind of discuss this a little bit and as much as we can as audio professionals. So
yeah, that's a pretty loose term. Like it, I've lost count of how many times we've sat in Discord. I'm like, I don't know what's wrong. I can't fix it. Everything sucks. It sounds terrible. I don't know what to do. It's gotten better since I switched from a USB mic to a Go XLR, but still has issues. Like we had one day where all my settings were reset and I sounded like a robot with the $1,000 microphone setup. I'm like, I am gonna lose myself. Like this $1,000 doesn't work. I almost lost it. So audio sucks. But here's a couple things, not just about audio, but how do you control a few other things on your stream regarding audio to make your stream a little bit more inviting and enticing for people to come into and then stay once they get there.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, volumes are always key. This is why we continually tell you guys go back and watch your VODs, because you're going to be playing with audio settings a lot. You will continue to adjust those from day one to whenever 3 years down the road. You will continue to be messing with audio. I can guarantee it. So volumes are key. You definitely want to make sure your game chat and your voice chat and your music and any other sound effects you have going on are all perfectly mixed. You know, you definitely want to go back and watch your VODs, make sure one of those is not overpowering the other and one of those just isn't too low. You know, if you're playing with a group of friends, you definitely want to make sure that they're not overpowering you. And you would have to go through and, tinker with, because everybody's different too. And especially in Discord, you'll have to go through individually and, lower and raise mic volumes just to make sure that everybody is sounding even and nobody's getting left out of the show.
Right. Yeah. And it changes when you change games, right? I did a stream this morning. I was playing Madden solo player game. My volumes are set. I know exactly where I want all of my, my mic audio to be. I know where I want my Spotify music playing, levels at. I know my alerts, what volume those are at, what volume I want the game set at. But then halfway through the stream, I switched and we played Apex. Ryno and we played together with another friend of ours. Complete different game. Sounds are completely different. Now I had Discord in there, still had the music playing. So I kind of had to guess a little bit by just looking at the bars in OBS and, where the audio volumes were. And so they looked acceptable, but I still need to go in and watch my VODs afterwards to make sure that the game audio wasn't too loud. Maybe there's certain parts of the game that are too loud. So then I have to turn the game down as a whole to kind of compensate for those loud moments. Having new people in Discord changes things. And one big thing too is make sure that if anyone mentions it in chat that, hey, this audio level's too loud. If they say, hey, music's too loud, or hey, this, effect that you have going on, one of your alerts is really loud, take that as everybody saying it, because that one person saying it, I guarantee he's not the only person thinking it. So use that as an advantage to go ahead and make some changes, and then go back and watch your VODs later and decide if, maybe now it's too low, you want to move it back up. Maybe that one guy is just nuts, and it was fine the whole time. But, take that advice on the fly while you're streaming. You don't want that to be a reason. People can deal with an alert with no sound. What they can't deal with is an alert that's blowing out their eardrums when they're listening.
100%. So it's the same thing with music too. You want to make sure your music levels are, adequate, because keep in mind as well, if you were playing copyrighted music, Twitch will go back and mute part of your VOD. So if you're trying to, something awesome happens on stream and you wanted to go back and clip that, but you had music going on, there's a chance that when you go back, it's going to be muted. So kind of keep that in mind. If you want that clip, you're going to have to immediately go get it and download it, because there's a chance that it might get muted. So, I mean, you can do that with you can do what you will with that. I play whatever, is on my Spotify, and there's times where I play non-copyrighted music. But just kind of keep that in mind. Music is definitely something that can hurt you as far as getting clips and stuff like that to post on Twitter and, advertise your stream. So kind of keep that in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, beyond that too. I mean, it can get you banned on or at least suspended on Twitch. So something to keep in mind. There's ways to go about getting non-copyrighted music or music that you then own the rights to use commercially. You have to pay for those things, but there are free ones out there you can go ahead and try to find. But beyond just music, some of the stuff, or beyond just music and sound effects and things like that, in terms of audio, is your inflection. You as a streamer, how you say things. You want to make sure that you are, how do I say this the right way? Saying things properly.
Enunciating.
Enunciating, getting things out there, but not just that, but you want to make sure that you change your like the inflection, the tone, the speed, the energy level, the timbre of your voice, all these different things. If you sit there completely monotone, people are going to leave. 100%. A lot of people won't even watch a stream. They're listening to it. And what they're listening to, it isn't the gameplay. It's not the music. They're listening to you. So if you sit there and you are disengaged and you sit there and you go, yeah, thanks for the follow. Oop, that was a bad shot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people are going to go, no way can I sit in here for an hour and watch this guy. You need to have some energy, have some like, I don't know, some energy and joy and passion behind your voice, and change things up. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things that I do that I get louder. I know every time I say them. There's things, like things that I say a little bit quieter. I have stupid voices that I do that people like for some dumb reason. I whine like a 5-year-old. They're wondering what I do. I whine like a 5-year-old on stream at least once a day, in a little kid voice. But so that, like I said, your inflection, your energy level, like all of that, it's key to get people to come in and go, this guy's having a blast. Like some of my favorite streamers, I like watching them because they are so energetic in their speaking ability and their voice, that it gets me to come back in, and I'm having a good time just listening to them react to what's going on in their game.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we just put out a video about this as well. Just the energy can be so key to a successful stream. Like Kay said, if you come in there and the streamer is just not enjoying anything at all, what makes you think the rest of the viewers are going to enjoy it? So just keep that in mind. You definitely want to have fun, definitely have that energy, be inviting, welcome in new streamer or viewers, sorry. And just have fun with it. Like Kay said, there's a lot of people I see it all the time in my chat. Hey, I'm at work. I got you on speaker though. I'm just listening.
Right.
It happens more often than you think. So just kind of keep that in mind.
Yeah. And it's, sometimes not even just your energy and inflection. Like you have to pay attention to, like, if you're playing with other people, like their voice chat, if their quality, and even their energy is not, they don't have to match yours, right? They're not streaming. If they're just a friend of yours or playing a game with you, they don't have to abide by the same rules, but just keep in mind that, your party chat, you're responsible for that too. So if they're vulgar, they're saying things that you don't like or allow in your channel, or if their mic quality is really bad, maybe they're just using a headset, and they're not using a microphone, and they have a poor connection to Discord, or you're using party chat on, through a console, that can affect your game too. If somebody that you're talking with has really bad quality, it's very staticky, that can deter some people from staying in there. If that's going to, bother their listening enjoyment, they're going to, it's a possibility they leave because of that. So keep that in mind too. That's why, like, push to talk or push to mute's a really good thing to have. Every streamer knows that push to mute or push to talk is extremely important, so that I can sit here and rant to my chat for 5 minutes, and I'm not playing with you, and you're going, hey, so and so, thanks for the follow, this sub, like, hey, we're getting shot at, can you stop talking to people now? Like, I can't hear people run around because you're thanking somebody for a sub. Like, I'm glad you got a sub, but shut up.
Shut up. I mean, it's 2020. If you're a streamer, for the love of God, go into Discord and put on push to mute or push to talk.
Yeah.
Because it's most of the time, like, the people I play with are other streamers, and like Kay said, it's cool. You're getting engagement from your community, but on my end, I don't want to necessarily hear it.
Not then. Yeah.
Yeah, not then. I mean, like, it's cool. Like, Kay and I, we get what's going on. I play with a lot of other streamers as well, but for the sake of their content, just push to mute, push to talk, help them out. Because there's been so many times where I was playing and I just hear somebody in the background talking to chat nonstop, and I'm trying to talk to chat, and there's just so much going on. It's just overload for some viewers. So just kind of keep that in mind.
Yeah. And some of the things to keep in mind too are going to be your music selection. If you are going to play music, like I said, we talked about the copyrighted music, be aware of the repercussions that can happen for that. Also pay attention to the lyrics. Sometimes you might not fully know, especially if you just click on some playlist on Spotify and just go through it. You might not be paying attention, and then some words come across that you don't like in your channel. You might be like, whoops. So just keep in mind that that's a possibility. But not just music too, but sound effects, right? Sound effects. You're going to add custom sound effects onto alerts onto your channel. Excuse me. You're going to add custom sound effects onto alerts on your channel. Make sure there's something that kind of fits your brand, or they're fitting to your channel. You know what I mean? Like, we've talked about this before a little bit. I'm not a fan of like the music alerts. Ryno does, he hasn't, but they're part of his channel. They're part of his brand. But I don't use those. Mine are little dings, right? Mine are like a coin from Mario. If you get a coin to Mario, that's one of the alerts.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, if you sub to the channel, you know, Mario grows from getting a mushroom. Like, it's, you know, there's that little sound that everybody knows. So, and when I'm playing a game, I know, oops, somebody subbed, and it's real quick. It's not disturbing. It's not a big, you know, thing I can go on and we can talk about it, and we'll hit some buttons and have all kinds of emotes in the channel. So that's how I prefer to do it. Other people, they have these giant alerts go off, music plays, balloons flare on their channel, they got emotes blasting all over the screen, and that's cool. That's your brand. Just make sure that what you're doing, like for Ryno, your alerts would not work with a little ding, right? You got all kinds of stuff going on. If it was just ding, you're like, well, that doesn't go together. You know what I mean? Like, you need that song, you need that sound to go with everything else that's going on in the channel. Mine, a little guy pops up, does his little noise, and then he's poof gone. So it fits for what I'm doing. So just make sure things kind of go together in terms of audio.
100%. You know, we all have our reasons for whatever alerts we have. You know, this is something we've touched base in our first video, and we'll touch base in again on another video. You know, when my follow alert, you know, it's kind of low key. It's kind of similar to what, you know, Kay has, but you know, when I get a sub, I want to celebrate that, you know, and so it's loud, it's obnoxious, you know, it gets my attention, and the chat gets hyped for it, you know, so, just kind of keep that in mind. It's your channel, so do what you think is best for your brand. But everybody's gonna be different, you know, and that's just the reality of it, and that's okay. And, you know, there's going to be things out there that you don't agree with. There's going to be streamers you watch where like, that is super obnoxious, I'm never coming back in here again. And it happens, you know, you can't please everybody.
Right.
But just kind of keep in mind, audio levels is just key. You know, you don't want it to just blow somebody's eardrums out, like Kay said. But just kind of just find that happy middle ground.
Yeah. So before we wrap this up, we're going to talk about everybody's favorite topic, audio issues. You cannot have a worse issue other than your internet being out or your computer being on fire. Audio issues will haunt you as a streamer every single day because there's no fix for them, right? There's no fix. There's small things you can do, but sometimes all you can do is shut down stream and reboot your computer and start over, especially if you're using a USB microphone running through something, you know, a digital mixer like Voice Meter. Like, I know I've had plenty where I'm like, hey guys, give me 5 minutes. I got to restart everything. I don't know what's wrong. Don't be afraid to do that. Don't sit on your stream and sound like a robot for 3 hours thinking that that's okay. That's going to deter more people and do more harm than you think. It's, you know, if it doesn't work, stop, reset, fix it, and come back.
Yeah, 100%. It's such a hard decision. I get it. I've been there plenty of times where, you know, stream is bumping, the community's coming out in full force, and you have whatever issue happening, and you have to stop and reset, you know, and you lose numbers and whatnot, and that's okay. You know, I'd rather put out a strong quality product than continue to push forward and fight through it with whatever audio issue is happening. So don't be afraid to just stop. Take the 5 minutes, let your chat know, hey, this is what's happening, and you know they'll be back. It does suck having that hiccup occasionally.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. So guys, anyway you cut it, you're going to have audio issues, so you're gonna want to deal with those on the fly. But like we said before, go back, watch your VODs, check your game volume, check your audio, check your music volume, your chat volume, your you know music. I already said music. Guys, go back, check your volumes, check your game audio. the chat, music, sound effects. Make sure your audio levels are good. Make sure you as a streamer are projecting yourself into your microphone and into your stream properly with the right amount of energy and enunciation and pronunciation, and change your speeds, your timbre. All that stuff is going to make people want to come back. The rest of it you can deal with. The issues, you'll get around those. You'll figure out how to do them. You'll move past it. But the things that you can control during and before your stream, make sure you're taking those steps to make sure you sound as good as you can.
100%. Well said, Kay. You guys have any questions, comments, concerns? Hit the comments down below. Our links for our Twitch channels are also below. If you guys have any questions, then you can catch us while we're live, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Thanks for watching.